Welcome to the VCL Sports group because this will be posted on YouTube. Usually we do podcasts weekly, and we're trying something new today. We're going to be giving our initial thoughts on the bracket today. We're going to be making our picks, me and bracketology expert Ryan McGee. This is probably the most fun time of the year to be a college basketball fan and enthusiast. It gets wild. It's fun. What was that?
Unless your team didn't make it.
Unless your team lost to a 16 seed. He's a Purdue fan. Go Fairleigh Dickinson Knights. But anyway, let's see. Will this still work? Awesome. So we're going to start off with the East side, and we're going to start off with UConn versus Stetson. This is Stetson's first time to the big dance, which is a big deal, especially if you're a small school, because it's hard to get to this.
Yep, but too bad they're playing the #1 overall seed.
Yeah, obviously. There's just no shot that we can get into McGee's. Let's see. McGee's bracket. Oh, it won't pull up too big, but we can see it over here. This will be McGee's screen, the smaller one, I believe. Sorry, we're just new at this. Yes, McGee's will be the smaller screen, but you can see he also picked UConn, and I mean, yeah, you can't not choose UConn. I mean, they're the best seed, overall seed, the best team, and they're looking to go back to back. Honestly.
Very good.
Very well could.
Next matchup, very interesting. I'm picking Northwestern. Who you got? FAU?
I don't have FAU. I was just testing something. I have Northwestern too, actually, because there's no one on FAU that can guard. What's his name? Boo Buie?
One of the best point guards in the nation.
Easily.
Boo Buie. No one on FAU can guard him.
FAU just doesn't have a defense. They have an offense.
It's going to be a high-scoring game, but I think Northwestern pulls it out.
I completely agree with you on that. FAU also, just really quick, is overseeded. I would have seen them coming in as a 12 seed. Maybe an 11. But I wouldn't have seen them as an 8.
That'd be a really good 11 seed.
It would be, but just how they did in the American tournament and just overall this year, they had higher expectations, and they kind of let those down.
Yeah, they're a little inconsistent, but still, this is a coin flip game. Could go either way.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Northwestern.
The next game we have is San Diego State up against UAB, a 5v12, and there's usually always a 5v12 upset. I wouldn't pick it now. No. UAB was not even in the bracket until they won the American.
Yeah, and they lost their two best players from last year. San Diego State, one of the best defensive teams in the country. And what's their big man's name? I forget his name.
Me too.
Ledee, right? Jaden Ledee. He's a really good player. San Diego State.
Also, really quick, here in the East side of things, look how we have 3 teams that were in the Final Four last year. UConn, FAU, and San Diego State.
Oh, yeah, San Diego State looking to get back to the championship. Possible. They brought back a lot of guys. Anyway.
Yep.
Next matchup. Who is it? Auburn and Yale?
Auburn and Yale. Yale was a team who almost lost to a 13-win Brown team, by the way. They won off a buzzer beater in the championship. There's just no way that I could choose Yale to beat Auburn, and Auburn is kind of that silent team. They're silent but deadly. They're really good.
Yeah, it could also be an upset pick because you never know which Auburn team will show up, and Yale is always pretty consistently a decent team in the tournament.
That is
but I'm
true.
gonna go Auburn.
So both of our brackets so far are the same.
Yep.
Right here, I'm seeing some tension between different people that I watch here on YouTube. I see people choose BYU or see people choose Duquesne. This is Duquesne's first time to the big dance since 1977. That's a long time. That's a really, really long time.
Yeah, they were a 6 seed out of the A10, so they shouldn't even have been in the tournament.
Yeah, they just came out of nowhere, but with a lot of power.
Yeah, but I don't know. BYU did pretty good in the Big 12.
For BYU being in the West Coast and transferring to the Big 12, they did great.
Yeah, and a lot of good shooters on BYU.
Mm-hmm.
So I think BYU got it.
Okay, so we still are on the same track.
Yeah. Illinois Moorhead. Well, Moorhead back to back.
Moorhead, actually, I wish they would have done Illinois as the 2 seed and Iowa State as the 3, honestly. I know that Iowa State beat Houston in the Big 12 championship. Illinois also won the Big 10 championship.
Yeah.
I mean, that could go either way, but I don't like Iowa State, and I think they should have been a 3. And if they were a 3, I would have been choosing Moorhead State in this instance, but because they are playing a deadly Illinois team, I'm going to have to go with Illinois.
Illinois. Terrence Shannon, Marcus Damask. They can't guard that.
I agree. This next game is a heavily debated game. Washington State and Drake. I'm going to go with Washington State here. I think that they are... I would say they're probably more explosive than Drake, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, the only guy that I've heard of on Washington State is their point guard, Miles Rice. But other than that, I just don't think they're that good. And Drake, their player won Missouri Valley Player of the Year, their best guy did, and they knocked off a really good Indiana State team in the championship. So I'm going to go Drake with the 10-7 upset.
All right.
Yep. Okay. And final game in the, what region is this?
This is the East region.
Iowa State, South Dakota State. Honestly, I don't think Iowa State's that good either, but considering they were able to beat Houston twice in the season.
Which is shocking. That's completely
what they
shocking.
did in the championship, Big 12 championship. I'll go Iowa State for now.
I would too. And this is a good game that you could possibly choose a 15 over a 2. And yeah, I actually believe there will be one, but it's not going to be this one.
Never know.
Would you like to stay here in the East, or should we move on to...
We can just stay here.
We'll stay here? Okay, we'll move back upward to UConn and Northwestern. I just don't think Northwestern can keep up with UConn, honestly.
No.
UConn is so lethal this year.
Game. Northwestern, Tyberry, he's their other guard. He's injured. But even if he was healthy, I don't think it matters.
I agree. I completely agree.
It's UConn. Okay. Now, the 5 San Diego State versus the 4 Auburn. I'm actually going to go San Diego State on this one.
Ooh, and give me your reasoning.
Like I said, Auburn's pretty inconsistent. I know they've been playing good recently. They just won the SEC tournament. San Diego State didn't do that good in their conference tournament, but San Diego State, as a 5 seed last year, made the national championship. So
true.
I think they have good experience in the tournament.
Okay.
So plus, we'll get a national championship rematch in the Sweet 16.
That would be really fun to watch and bring in a lot of viewers. Cool. So I'm not with you on that. I'm going to go Auburn. Like I said, they're silent, but they're deadly. I don't hear a lot of talk about them. They're a great team. But I just don't hear a lot of talk about them. And when I think about that, when I think about teams that I don't hear a lot of that are good, I feel like they're gonna make a run. They're gonna do so good in March. You have Bruce Pearl. The analytics love Auburn. Love them. So I gotta choose Auburn. I really have to.
Yeah.
The next game, Illinois versus BYU. Another game that I've seen people choose BYU over Illinois. There's just no way I can do that.
No. BYU's got no one that's guarding Terrence Shannon. He's too fast, too athletic. They can't guard him. Marcus Damask, he's a great guard post player. They got no answer for that. And Illinois playing really well right now.
Oh, for sure. I mean, okay, you're going to hate me because you're a Purdue fan. But even if Illinois made that championship against Purdue, I would have chosen Illinois to win.
Yeah, because, like I said, Purdue, they can beat a team twice in the season, and the third time they play them, they'll lose. So they probably would have lost. That's why, I mean, that's what happened with Wisconsin.
Yes.
They beat them twice during the season, lost in the tournament. It's hard to beat a team 3 times. I mean,
very hard. Very, very, very hard.
What can you do? So, yeah, I don't disagree with you there. Anyway.
So, this is where we're different. You have Drake. I have Washington State. I think for both of us, I think we're both choosing the other team to beat Iowa State. Is that correct?
No, I'm going to go Iowa State on this one.
Okay.
I mean, I know they're not, well, I mean, they're good, but I don't know a lot of their guys other than their point guard, Lipsy, who is very good, but, I mean, they're a really good defensive team.
Mm-hmm.
Just destroyed Houston.
Yeah,
they did.
Make it next round. But I just, ever since the start of the bracket, when I saw Iowa State as a 2 seed, I didn't like it. I haven't liked them really all year, to be honest.
Well, they were in the conversation for a 1 seed.
That's,
which I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's just not.
They could have been there.
It's not right. If they would have been a 1 seed, I would have honestly I would have possibly chosen a 16 seed to win.
Brother, what's that?
Not even gonna lie. I really would have.
That's too extreme.
I know it's extreme, but that's how much I don't believe in Iowa State. I just don't believe in them. I don't know why. I'm choosing Washington State. So now we're in the Sweet 16.
Yep, Sweet 16.
We both have different ones. Completely different ones.
Well, either way, UConn, San Diego State, National Championship rematch. UConn. They're just too good.
They are just too good. But when it comes to Auburn, can Bruce Pearl stop them? I don't think so, but Bruce Pearl can make magic out of nothing. He's like the Tom Izzo of the SEC. Does that make sense? He can produce nothing into something. But I don't think he can produce that something against UConn.
No, unless UConn gets some injuries, but I doubt it. They're just too good defensively, offensively. Auburn's a good defensive team too, but
very good.
UConn
very good.
Is just on another level.
I completely agree with that. I mean, they're unstoppable almost. Almost.
Not quite. Illinois, Iowa State. My reasoning: Terrence Shannon, Damask.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stop them.
I agree with you. I mean, even though we have two different Sweet 16s, I'm going Illinois.
They both dropped 30 points in the Big Ten championship game. Mm-hmm. Damask had 28. Shannon had 34.
I mean, you could basically say that's 30. That's just 2 away.
The amount of times that's happened when both of those two have scored almost 30 points has happened multiple times. So because
All
they're
right.
on the roll. So
They are on a roll. They've had an excellent season. Here we go. Elite Eight.
yes,
UConn,
for the
Illinois.
Final Four, I kind of want to go Illinois.
I'm going Illinois. I am. There's just no shot to me that UConn goes back to back. And I don't even think they make the Final Four. I think they're going to stumble to this amazing Illinois team.
I mean, I like the Big Ten. I always cheer for the Big Ten in the tournament, but they always fail. Big Ten always fails.
No, that's just Purdue.
But no. They're a big part of it, but no. I mean, I want to pick them here, but the depth, that's the problem.
The depth of UConn is insane.
UConn has a lot of depth. Illinois, they have two of the best guards in the country. But when it comes to depth, I got to go UConn.
Okay. That's fair enough. Fair enough. So we're going to go down now.
Down the west.
We're going to go head to the west, where North Carolina will play either Howard or Wagner. I would say they're probably playing Wagner. Howard is just, they're horrible when it comes to March.
Oh, I was going to say Howard.
Oh, okay. We're both different. But either way.
The plays don't really matter too much.
I mean, the 10 seeds kind of matter
a
little bit.
The higher playing game,
yeah.
But this one doesn't.
This one doesn't. Yeah, easily UNC.
Yes.
So Mississippi State, Michigan State. I haven't seen too many people choose Mississippi State because we all know Tom Izzo.
Yes, Michigan State, like we know, they didn't live up to expectation.
No, they were in the top 5, correct, preseason?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you gotta look at last year, or just in years prior. They always do good in the tournament.
They're just a March team.
Last year they were a 10 seed?
No.
And then they beat Marquette, who was the hottest team in the country, and a 2 seed. So I'm going Michigan State. Plus
I am too.
Guard plays really good. Tyson Walker and AJ Hogard.
The only reason I have Michigan State is just because of Tom Izzo magic. Just to be honest.
That too. He's a good March Madness coach. A good tournament coach.
Stop flexing.
I'm not.
Stop flexing.
I'm not.
You're small.
Hey, I got you guys protein shakes.
Awesome. I love protein.
Okay, next game. Here we go. St. Mary's versus Grand Canyon. Everyone wants to see a 5v12 upset. Once again, I said there's going to be at least one or two. And let me say this, if I haven't already. All these 12 seeds could win. Not saying that it's going to happen, but they all have a great chance to do it.
Yeah, they're all very good 12 seeds.
But this one's still not it. This is still not going to be the 12 seed to win. St. Mary's is a really good defensive team compared to Grand Canyon's really good offense, but I think it's still just going to stop Grand Canyon's offense, even though it's good.
St. Mary's tends to be a team that gets overlooked.
I agree.
Like, you would think they get upset a lot just because they're conference, but they always somehow never get upset.
I agree. I completely agree with that.
So I'm going to go St. Mary's. I don't know much about them, but I know that they ran the West Coast Conference.
They have a great defense. A great one.
Yeah.
Alabama versus Charleston. I've seen a mix between people choosing Charleston, a mix between people choosing Alabama. And their reasoning is because Alabama doesn't have a defense and Charleston's going to run all over them. I disagree with that completely.
Alabama does have a defense.
They have a good defense. It's just, do they want to show up?
Mark Sears is a very good point guard.
I completely agree with that. Sears, if I'm mistaken, but I feel like Sears, even though Tennessee won in Tuscaloosa, I feel like Sears dominated that game.
Yep, that's how it was in the Purdue game. Purdue barely won, but he had 30, almost 40 points, I think.
Sears is a machine.
He was the only guy scoring.
I agree with that. They have playmakers, obviously, But he's definitely their leading scorer, and he makes magic happen. I know I'm going to say that a lot, but it's true.
Yes.
Clemson and New Mexico.
I don't know what the heck Clemson's doing in this
tournament.
like
Clemson.
They could have easily picked one of the Big East teams that they left out, like St. John's or something like that, or Providence maybe. I don't know why Clemson.
Yeah, I would have liked St. John's here better.
As a 6 seed. Anyway.
I think, I mean,
upset.
I've always known Clemson as not that great.
They're not.
I think if you were to put them in this tournament, they're a play-in.
I don't think they should be there.
I agree with you on the St. John's. I think St. John's should have been in here.
Like, look at the bubble. They left out St. John's, Providence, Ohio State was on the bubble.
Ohio State didn't really deserve to be in, though.
Well, I mean, they were close. Who else?
Pitt. Indiana
Wake
State.
Forest.
Did you say Indiana State?
Indiana State was there.
St. John's was there.
Where?
Who was the other team? There was another blue team that I can't think of.
Seton Hall.
Was it Seton Hall?
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, but I got the upset pick.
Oh, I got New Mexico too. I mean, not dominated, but they really ran through that Mountain West Conference Championship.
Yeah, the Mountain West is looking like a new Power 6 conference.
We could call them the Power. Well, Pac-12's gone.
Pac-12's
gone. Are they the new Power 6?
Pac-12 anyway.
This year they could have considered them as the Power 7.
Sure. But New Mexico, 3 really good guards. I got New Mexico.
Me too. New Mexico is lethal. Baylor and Colgate. There are 2 14-3 seed games that you could choose for the upset of the 14 seed to beat the 3 seed. This is one of them, but it's not the one to choose. Colgate has a good Colgate
always comes in as an upset pick, but they never do it. So, and Baylor, they might be inconsistent, but you got to go with them.
Colgate has a good 3-point shooting team, is what I was trying to say. But if we look at the past, I think this is their 4th year in a row in. This is their worst team that's in. They're not that great. So Baylor should knock this one off. But once again, Colgate does have a fun, high-energy offense. But just not as good as previous years.
I'm going Baylor.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree. Dayton and Nevada.
This one's a coin flip.
It's a coin flip, but it's also like, I don't know if I can trust Dayton so much. I don't think I can.
Yeah, they kind of fell off at the end of the year. And Nevada played a little bit better towards the end of the year. Both teams ranked in the top 25 at the end of the year.
Nevada, I mean, coming out of the Mountain West, like we said, that's a strong conference. They've played better competition.
Yeah.
I've got Nevada.
I mean, I don't know many of the players on Nevada, but Dayton has Dayron Holmes, who's one of the best centers in the country, but I don't know. That's a tough one.
It is tough. It is very tough.
I'll probably go Nevada.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go Nevada.
You sure? We'll give you one more chance.
I'm not really sure of the reasoning. I'll just go Nevada.
Okay.
It's because Dayton seems to be a little more inconsistent.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. That's a tough one. I'll go Nevada.
Fair enough.
They're usually a good tournament team. Especially past couple years, they made some runs.
Not against Loyola Chicago in the Sweet 16.
Well, they still made the Sweet 16.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Next.
They're a great March team.
No question.
So next we have Arizona and Long Beach State. Long Beach State is a fun 15 seed, but when you get matched up with Arizona, there's just no shot.
Well, we say that, and Arizona lost to 15 last year, but that 15 was really good. That 15 was really good. That was a strong 15 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Princeton was a very strong 15 seed. But I think additions of Caleb Love and what's his name? Kashad Johnson, it's Arizona.
I mean, Caleb Love is an electric player. He's going to carry this team through March.
Yep.
So now we move back up. North Carolina. RJ Davis versus the Tom Izzos. I have the Tom Izzos.
Yep.
I just think North Carolina's going to choke. They have the most tournament wins out of any team. It's like 131 wins.
Oh, really?
But they like to choke sometimes in March, and I think maybe this is one of those years.
Michigan State, they're also, I mean, I know they lost in the tournament to Purdue, but that was a really close game.
Very close. I thought Michigan State was going to come back and win.
They're playing really well right now. They already have a really good defense. They're top defense in the country. Offense needs some work. But I think if they can pressure North Carolina enough, they can just get points off turnovers. They'll be fine.
Even though North Carolina is a great team when it comes to March, I think this is a year that they choke. And the Tom Izzo Spartans move on.
They're the weakest one seed.
Oh, for sure. And that one seed was hard to choose. I mean, Tennessee's pretty weak right now. You got Arizona. I think Arizona maybe should have been that one seed. I know that they didn't do good in the Pac-12 tournament, and I know North Carolina made it to the ACC championship. But Arizona, I feel like, is stronger than North Carolina in some ways.
I would, if they played, I'd probably go with Arizona.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway.
St. Mary's versus Alabama. Good defense versus good offense. And in my opinion, defense wins. St. Mary's will slow this Alabama team down. They'll slow down Sears. They'll take the win. And it will be a 9v5 in the Sweet 16.
I like the reasoning, but I think Alabama, I mean, they play really fast. Obviously, St. Mary's plays really slow, but Alabama has more talent. So that's why I'm going to go Alabama.
Okay, fair enough.
You had a very good point there, but I'm going to go Alabama.
I do think this St. Mary's defense will make them go off tempo. It'll throw them off. Or, vice versa, Alabama's fast offense will throw St. Mary's defense off.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that one's a coin flip, too. New Mexico versus Baylor.
I am going to go with New Mexico.
Me too. Me too.
I don't like this Baylor team. It's not
consistent.
They're not consistent. They're not as good as the old Baylor teams. Sure, they brought in some good transfers, and they got a 5-star who's going to get drafted. But New Mexico, 3 guards, veterans. I think they're older guys, too. I'm going to go to Mexico, and they're really hot right now. They're on a run.
I agree. They've been hot through that Midwest tournament.
What?
And they're not going to slow down anytime soon.
And
did I say Midwest? I'm sorry. I meant Mountain West if I said Midwest.
And then Nevada, Arizona?
I would love to choose Nevada right here, but I just can't.
No.
Love is, like I said, he's going to carry them through March.
Yep.
You don't really have to explain that one. That one's basic,
no.
really.
And I don't have to explain this one either.
Yeah.
Give me the Spartans.
The Tom Izzo Spartans. I like the idea, but this team, remember,
it's a stretch. I know it's a stretch.
Top 5 preseason and disappointed. I think they're just going to disappoint right here against St. Mary's.
Stretch.
It is a stretch, and it's a bold stretch.
New Mexico's run probably going to come in.
Oh, for sure. I know that they're going to play hot. They're going to play Arizona really close in this game, I believe.
It would be a very fast-paced game. I think.
Very.
Elite 8.
The Elite 8. So you have the Tom Izzo Spartans
Call them Michigan State. No.
Okay, I'm sorry. We have the Michigan State Spartans up against. Well, you have the Michigan State Spartans up against the Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Arizona. I think Arizona's depth is really good. Michigan State has some depth too, but they're not that good.
No, that's why I had them losing to St. Mary's. St. Mary's is going to lock down that Michigan State offense. And I think, yes, they will put a slowdown to this
close game. Michigan State, they might have lost a lot, but they always play a close game.
They do. And I think that Michigan State St. Mary's game is going to be close. But I still think St. Mary's will come out on top. They'll come into this game. They'll slow down Arizona. It's going to hurt Arizona. But Arizona will find a way out and win this one.
Yep.
So let's go back up to the top right to the south, where Houston is the number 1 seed going up against the Big South champion of Longwood.
Do we need an explanation on this one?
Go Longwood!
Too good defensively.
Yeah, Houston. See, that's the problem that I think is going to hurt them in this tournament. Yes, they are great at defense, and they have a good offense. But is it good enough to make it past a couple of these teams?
And here's a fun matchup.
Yeah. Nebraska.
Nebraska's first tournament in a while. I don't know exactly how long.
It's been a while.
First one in a while. Fred Hoiberg, Big Ten Coach of the Year.
Was he?
Yeah.
Wow.
Give me the Huskers.
I'm going to go the Huskers as well.
Really good three-point shooting team. A pretty solid defensive team. If they're hitting threes, their defense is good.
Yeah.
Be a problem for Houston, but we'll get to that.
I would choose A&M here if they were a little more consistent. I could be wrong, but I remember in the SEC pre-season, like pre-rankings, Texas A&M was supposed to be pretty high up there. I think almost number 2. And they just disappointed this year.
Yeah.
So they're inconsistent. Give me Nebraska. Wisconsin and James Madison. Wisconsin, a team who beat Purdue, made it to the championship, but lost to Illinois in a good game.
Yeah.
But then we have James Madison out of the Sun Belt, who has the best winning streak coming into March with a 13-game winning streak. I'm going James Madison. This is the 5v12 that I was talking about. I think it will happen. I really do. James Madison is electric. They're fast. They're fun. It's called the Fun Belt for a reason.
I'm going to go Wisconsin because, look, I know they struggled a bit. They started off really well. They were number 6 in the country. They fell off a bit, got a little bit of a losing streak, but they're starting to play like the number 6 team in the country again. AJ Storr tore up Purdue in that tournament game, and I think he had plus 20 in the championship as well. And they're starting to shoot the ball good again from 3, which is their main play style. So I'm going to go Wisconsin.
So the next matchup we have is Duke versus Vermont. Vermont is a fun 13 seed, but when you go up against Duke, a Duke team like this with a bunch of returning players, a bunch of depth, there's just no way you can beat them. There's no way that they're going to upset Duke.
No, I don't see it. I agree. Give me Duke.
Up next, NC State versus Texas Tech. NC State, 5 wins in 5 days. They're an electric team right now, but Texas Tech is also a team with a lot of depth.
Yeah, Texas Tech has, first-year head coach, couple transfers. They did surprisingly well in the Big 12 this year.
Surprisingly well, yeah.
Second or third, right? Third?
Yeah, that sounds right. A 3rd seed does sound right.
NC State should not be here. I mean, I know they won the conference. Stupid bid stealer. But
I know that's annoying.
Texas Tech.
Because
There's a
NC
couple
State
big
shouldn't have
schools.
been here anyway.
A couple teams shouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm going Texas Tech too. They just have too much depth. And they have a pretty good defense too. Kentucky versus Oakland. Oakland is coming out of a strong Horizon League this year. Kentucky, okay, a lot of people say no defense. They have no defense. There's no defense on this team. And y'all are correct. There is no defense. But Oakland can't upset this Kentucky team. They're too electric on offense. So I'm going with Kentucky.
True. I'm going to go Kentucky.
Florida versus Colorado or Boise State. I would say Colorado's going to win that game. Boise is not very good against better teams.
Yeah. But they were also, I think they were a top seed in the Mountain West.
Were they?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, no.
Anyway, I'm going to go with Florida.
I would go with Florida too.
I think they beat Colorado or Boise. I don't think it matters.
Florida's a team that's going to compete with anyone. If the team's lower than them or like not as good, they're going to compete at their level. If the team is higher and much better than them, they're still going to compete at that level. They can do whatever they need to, adjust however they need, depending on the team that they play.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go Florida with that one. I agree. Marquette, Western Kentucky. Kolek is, I think he's hurt. He was hurt for the Big East tournament.
But is he going to be back?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's back. And Marquette, I mean, they still made it all the way to the championship without Kolek, who's their best player, and probably the best point guard in the country, I'd say, and a possible NBA draft pick, I believe. Western Kentucky, Brandon Newman, Purdue transfer leading the way, I think.
Yes, sir.
But it don't matter. What, Marquette?
Oh, I disagree with you. This is the 2v15 that I have this year. Western Kentucky upsets Marquette, and it's not about depth or anything like that. It's more or less just a gut feeling that I have. It's more or less, we've seen these 15, 16 seeds for the past 4 or 5 years now. I guess actually 5 would have been COVID years, so we didn't have one. But anyway, for the past 4 years, we've seen these upsets. You never want to choose them, but this time I'm going to. I'm going to choose this one. And I don't know why. It's just a gut feeling that I have.
Okay. Back up to the top. Houston scares me a little bit here because they're either going to go all the way or get upset early. And if they were going to get upset early, it'd be this game here. But I'm going to go Houston still, just because their defense is really good. Although Nebraska could upset because they are also a pretty good defensive team and arguably have a better offense than Houston. For sure, a better shooting team. But I'm going to go Houston just because it's Houston.
I agree with you there. Nebraska's a fun 8 seed. They're a fun team. When I see them in this bracket, I think, oh my goodness, they could go on a run. They could go on a good run. But then you look above and it's like, oh, they have Houston.
Yeah.
Then you can't choose them to have that fun run. Houston doesn't have an amazing offense, but like you said, they have that great defense, and I think that's going to really hurt this Nebraska team in this game. And that's why I'm going to go with Houston.
All right, next game. I got Wisconsin and Duke.
I have James Madison and Duke.
Madison. You can go first.
Even though I did say this Duke team is they have a lot of depth, they have a lot of returning players. Duke finds a way, even though they're a blue blood, they'll find a way to mess up in March. Every year it feels like. They mess up again. Give me James Madison. Hot streak. Let's go for 15 straight wins.
Well, I agree with Duke losing, but I got Wisconsin instead. Like I said, they're starting to play like they are the number 6 team in the country again. So, and Duke has been kind of inconsistent throughout the year. It'll be a close game. I mean, that's a coin flip game, honestly. It just depends which Wisconsin team shows up.
I completely agree with that. If it's the Wisconsin team from against Purdue, they're winning this.
Yes. But I also have a bad feeling that Duke could run them out of the water easily.
In your instance, and I mean mainly in your instance, it's a coin flip game. In my instance, a lot of people will be going for Duke, but I don't know. James Madison is on this hot run, and I don't see them stopping until they play Houston.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Wisconsin, just because they are back in form. Let's say
that's fair enough. This next game, we both have the same teams. Yes, 6v3, 3v6, however you would like to say it. Texas Tech versus Kentucky.
Texas Tech, more of a veteran team. Kentucky,
they're deep.
All freshmen. They are pretty deep. I don't know a lot about Texas Tech.
I don't know a whole lot, but I just know that they are deep.
I know Kentucky is also deep, but their whole rotation is freshmen, right? Except for Reeves.
Pretty much the whole rotation is freshmen.
I mean, they got some really good freshmen.
I don't think this Texas Tech defense can slow down how good Kentucky's offense is. It's on fire. It's fast. It's fun.
It'll probably be. I don't know if Texas Tech has a super good offense. I know they're mainly a defensive team.
It depends on what they want to show up with, you know.
But it could be a high scoring game with Kentucky.
Oh, for sure.
Because Kentucky has no defense whatsoever.
Kentucky has a horrible defense, and I know that's going to hurt them at some point.
Yes, it will. Next game.
We both have different things.
I have Florida and Marquette.
I have Florida and the 15 seed Western Kentucky.
Well, mine needs no explanation. Florida is not going to be able to handle Kolek and Cam Jones. Marquette.
Can Florida beat this Western Kentucky team? Obviously, yes. But which Florida team shows up? Do we see a Cinderella with Western Kentucky this year? Or do we see those dreams just end right here? And in my opinion, I think they do. I don't think Western Kentucky has as much depth as Florida. Florida, like I said, they can play at any level that they want to any day of the week. And I think they will play at a pretty good level right here up against Western Kentucky. A good enough level to win. And they'll move on.
Sweet 16.
2 different matchups for both of us.
Houston, Wisconsin. Honestly, if Houston were to lose, I think Nebraska has a better chance of beating Houston than Wisconsin.
I agree.
But I'm going to go Houston.
Nebraska's an electric team.
Because when Wisconsin is pressured, they are not as good. As we saw again when they played Arizona. Arizona pressured them, and they got killed. So Houston will do that to Wisconsin.
So I agree what you were saying with Nebraska. Like, if Houston had to lose, Nebraska would be the team to do it, because I feel like they play more calm. When I watch them play, they don't play like they're scared. They just kind of go in there having fun, like how kids should be doing it. Just go into a basketball game, let's go have fun. That's how I feel like they play.
I see that.
But now my Sweet 16 matchup is between Houston and James Madison. Could James Madison go for 16 straight wins? There's just no way I can choose it. Houston is much better. I just can't do it. It would be fun to see, but the Dukes are out right there. Good job, Dukes, on a good Cinderella run, but it's over.
Yep. Now I got Kentucky and Marquette.
I have Kentucky and Florida.
Fine. Now, this game could be interesting. Kentucky, very good offense. All freshmen. Marquette has a very good offense and defense, and they're all upperclassmen. But, I could see this going either way. But I'm going to go with tournament experience. Marquette.
All right. Mine is a pretty tough matchup to choose to. I could coin flip it, and that's going to be my winner. Only because, like we keep saying, Kentucky has a great offense. This Florida team can play a defense to slow it down. But does Florida have a good enough offense to produce points like Kentucky? Because, once again, Kentucky doesn't have that defense.
Yeah. Didn't Florida already beat Kentucky?
They did.
Did they split, or did they only play once?
I don't remember. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm sorry about that.
I don't know. Go ahead.
And this is tough. This is really tough. Like, I'm having a struggle on this. So I'm going to call in Ryan McGee to help me with this. Yep, you're going to help me with this one. This one's just too tough for me to choose.
Based on recent tournaments, lower seeds have been making it further.
Mm-hmm.
Florida, they have a lot more seniors. I know that.
I'm kind of feeling Florida, honestly, even though I just told you to help me in. But I'm feeling Florida now.
That's all. I'm hinting more towards Florida.
I think I'm feeling Florida, and we're going to choose Florida. I think we're going to do it. Even though I called you in as you were speaking, I kind of felt it as you were speaking. This Elite Eight game, for me and for you, are pretty fun, but mine is more easy to choose than yours is. Mine, Florida just doesn't have the power. They can play up to a good level team, but not Houston. They can't play up to Houston's level. Houston is dominant. Houston is really good. And it's hard to stop Houston. So I'm going to go with Houston to the Final Four.
Now, Marquette's very good offensively, but they're not very physical. So I could see Houston running all over them, honestly. So I'm going to go Houston. Now, again, the offense for Houston, tough to come by.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's going to hurt them.
If they can shut down Marquette offensively, they should be fine.
I feel like if Houston's moving past Nebraska, they're going to the Final Four.
Plus, a Jamal Shead-Tyler Kolek matchup would be very fun.
Very fun.
But I got Houston.
All right. Headed to the Midwest where you're Purdue Boilermakers. The number 1 seed.
I got my pick on it.
But who do you think, just for shits and gigs, who do we think? Grambling State, Montana State? I'm going to go with Montana State. They're a fun team.
I would say Grambling.
All right.
And, this matchup kind of scares me because last year, FDU was a play-in game. So they already had a game. That's the only thing that scares me. I'm sure we'll be fine. Purdue will be fine.
Yeah.
But they're going to be playing a team that's already played. That's the only thing that scares me. But
I can understand that.
I don't think they're going to blow it. Knock on wood.
I agree. I have
And
Purdue.
if they're playing Grambling, I'm going to go Purdue.
I have Purdue against Montana State. Montana State, kind of a weird team in my opinion. They're just, they're. Didn't they go 500 this year?
I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence, and nobody can hang with my stuff.
This is the lowest seed that they've been. Usually they're 13 or 14.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
But, I mean, they're a fun team, but there's no way that Purdue's going to lose to them.
This next game.
This one's controversial.
ECU coin flip game.
Completely coin flip. I have a tough time choosing. Like, every 30 minutes, I'll look at this and I'll be like, well, I think the other team's going to
Utah State, they were, 18th, 17th, 18th ranked in the nation?
They were up there. They were maybe 16th? Maybe 16th highest?
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss.
Seed in the Mountain West. They get the Mountain West Player of the Year in Great Osabor. Cool name.
Mm-hmm.
TCU, they did pretty well in a good Big 12 conference. I don't know.
TCU has the playing experience from better teams, but this Utah State team, once again, I'm going to say it again, they're electric. They have that pizzazz in them to knock off this TCU team, in my opinion.
I'm going to go... I'll change it up. I'm going to go...
Cletus, the football robot, you're my only hope!
TCU. I'm going to go TCU. Gonzaga versus a 3-loss team?
A 3-loss team in McNeese. Are you going to ride the Wade train?
No. I'm going Gonzaga.
I think this is a controversial game. Usually you just see one 5v12 upset. Sometimes 2, never 3. I just don't find...
I know McNeese has 30 wins and only 3 losses.
Mm-hmm. But it's to bad teams.
They're probably in the worst conference, honestly.
I agree with that. Ooh, almost worst.
Who have they played?
You're beating me.
I think the best team they've beaten is Michigan, and Michigan was last place in the Big Ten. I'm going to go Gonzaga. They were on the bubble for a while. Finally pulled through after a good road win at Kentucky. I'm going to go Gonzaga.
Gonzaga, they looked not it early in the season, and then they found a way to fix it up. Beat St. Mary's, I think once, or maybe twice, but I think it was once.
They beat them once, and then they lost to them in the championship.
Okay. I would love to choose McNeese here, and
I don't see it.
It's not a bad decision though. If you didn't believe in James Madison over Wisconsin, this would probably be your 5v12 upset. But I can't do it. I'm going to go with Gonzaga.
This one's controversial.
This one's very controversial.
Kansas, Samford. I don't know. Kansas, 2 best players are hurt.
Yep.
They didn't play in the Big 12 tournament, but I believe they're supposed to be back for March Madness.
I'm not sure, but it's definitely something you need to eyeball. Definitely something you need to eyeball throughout the week.
I know Dickinson, the big guy, he'll be back for sure.
Mm-hmm.
McCullough, I'm pretty sure he tore an ACL, so I don't know.
There's no way he'll be back. I don't think so.
But either way, Dickinson, honestly, he played a lot better at Michigan when he was at Michigan.
Much better.
But does Samford have anyone that can stop Hunter Dickinson?
I can't name someone off of Samford, but I know their offense is fast and they play with a press. Give me Samford.
They do press.
Every play. It doesn't matter. It's press from the start So I'm going to go with Samford. They're going to hurt this Kansas team.
I'm still going to go Kansas.
Okay.
I'm not high on them, but I think their point guard is good enough to handle the press. And Dickinson, I think, is going to be too much for Samford on the offense.
Fair enough.
It'll be interesting.
Very interesting. It'll be a fun. It reminds me kind of that Virginia Furman game last year. So next, we have South Carolina versus Oregon. I don't want to explain this because I have a hatred for South Carolina as a Tennessee fan. Yes, South Carolina beat Tennessee in the season, but they are frauds. Y'all had a great season. Y'all's coach got SEC Coach of the Year. Y'all are still frauds. Give me Oregon.
Yep. I mean, I don't think they're that good, but they do have two really good players that transferred from the Big Ten. Minnesota's old point guard and Michi Johnson from Ohio State. That's the only two guys I know on that team. But I don't think they're that good. Oregon, I mean, I don't know much about them, but I still think they're a better team. Because Oregon has had better wins during the season.
Did they win the Pac-12 championship? I believe they did. I believe that's the only reason why
they're in it.
Why they're in.
Yeah, it might be because they were another bid stealer. Stupid bid stealers.
Creighton versus Akron.
I was thinking Creighton had a very good chance of winning the whole thing because they looked really good. But they're still a really good team. But the thing that I've noticed is they have no depth whatsoever. I think they run a 6-man rotation. They're good enough to beat Akron, I'd say.
Akron's a good team that plays fast, though.
Akron is a good team. They have a really good big guy. I never remember his name. Freaking Trey Alexander, Baylor Shireman, Kalkbrenner. Very good trio. Give me the Blue Jays.
I'm going to go with the Blue Jays too, but to the viewers out there, if there was a 14-seed upset that you want to choose, Colgate's a good one to do, but I don't think they can do it. This would be your best one to choose if you wanted one, but I still don't see it happening.
You wanted one maybe, but I see it. Creighton's, they're a veteran team.
Texas versus, in my opinion, Colorado State. Virginia, why are they here?
I like Virginia.
I don't
think they're that bad. Good defense, really good defensive team. But offense is
The offense can't do anything.
But honestly, Colorado State, Virginia, I think whoever wins that play-in game beats Texas. Either one of them.
See, this is hard for me.
This is inconsistent.
I agree with
I'd go Colorado State or Virginia, either one.
But do you really think Virginia's better than Texas? It's hard for me to choose 2 10 seeds, but you know what? I feel like out of all the years that it could happen, this might be the year. But like you said, Texas is so inconsistent. What team are we going to get? This one's tough to choose.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go. I'm still trying to decide.
Texas does have Max Asmus. If you don't know who that is, remember Oral Roberts. That was him.
That was the big run by Oral Roberts.
Well, he's still a really good player. So Texas could be a team, and they also still have Tyrese Hunter, which I actually forgot about until just now.
Is that your cat?
What the fuck? Is that a fucking cat? Hey, don't fucking look at me like that. That's a weird looking fucking cat.
So Texas could be a team to make a run. So actually,
I'm going with Texas, not based off of that explanation, just thinking here. I don't think either Colorado State or UVA could beat Texas, but if someone has the best chance, it's Colorado State.
After that explanation, I might go Texas. I'm changing it to Texas.
All right. All right. Oh, no.
St. Peter's curse. Vescovy.
Vescovy. No one likes Vescovy.
If this is a 15/2, it's this one here.
No.
St. Peter's curse.
See, like I said, I don't know if...
I'm going to go Tennessee.
When I saw this pop up on the TV, I fell. My heart dropped. I thought we were probably going to get Colgate. And I was so...
Because you'll always play Colgate.
I was so confident that it was going to be Colgate again. And we already know how that team is.
I mean, this isn't the same St. Peter's team.
It's not at all.
Half of them went to Seton Hall last year anyway, so...
It's still a scary game just knowing what St. Peter's did 2 years ago. But I will choose Tennessee, of course. That's my team.
I don't like them. I don't like St. Peter's.
I don't like St. Peter's.
Honestly, I kind of wish we got an FDU rematch. That would have been kind of cool, actually.
That would have been pretty cool. But they didn't do really good this year.
FDU was terrible this year.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna go Tennessee. Back to the top. I don't even know who the TCU's big guy is. Give me Purdue.
So you have TCU. I have Utah State. Yeah, TCU Purdue will be a great matchup. Oh, Purdue chokes.
Brayden Smith, Jameer Nelson, good matchup. But I don't think TCU can guard Edey. I think he's too big. And now that Purdue can actually shoot the ball and has help around Edey with Lance Jones, Brayden Smith, they should be fine in this one.
Does Purdue
You're not doing that.
Does Purdue choke? Y'all are such chokers like Tennessee. Y'all are. You can't say y'all aren't. But I don't think it's Utah State that y'all stumble to.
Yeah, if we're going to lose, it's going to be at a double digit, not a single digit.
Right here, I don't have Purdue stumbling. I just don't see a way that Utah State can. Like you said, Purdue has a lot of depth and a lot of great players. Okay, next game. 5 seed Gonzaga up against 13 seed Samford. For me, is that for you too? No, you have Kansas.
But I think we're both pulling towards Gonzaga.
I am in a way. Can Samford play enough press defense to become a Cinderella story also, like James Madison? Not saying that James Madison plays the press, but I'm saying, can they be a Cinderella story? Can they throw off this Gonzaga team with a press defense?
I don't think so. Because Gonzaga has Ryan Nembhard. He's a really good point guard. Hickman, another good guard.
They've also been playing some press defenses throughout their conference, and it doesn't seem like it's hurt them.
I don't know. I'm still going to go
like St. Mary's with that. They have a good defense. They don't necessarily press, but like Samford has a really good defense. St. Mary's has a really good defense, but they can beat St. Mary's. I think I'm going to lean more towards Gonzaga, but don't be surprised if you see Samford beating Gonzaga if they make it past Kansas.
Oregon, Creighton. I don't know a lot about Oregon. I'm pretty sure I've said that already.
Yeah.
But they did win the Pac-12, right?
They did.
They won the Pac-12 championship, and they beat Arizona. Correct?
Yep. Not in the championship.
Well, not in but in the tournament.
Yeah.
I'm still going to go Creighton.
Okay.
Trey Alexander, really good player. He's their best scorer. Shireman, lights-out shooter. And Kalkbrenner, the 7-footer, very good defensively. Actually, Kalkbrenner might be the high scorer. But the big three there is just too good for Oregon, I think.
Honestly, this one's been very controversial from what I've seen from a bunch of YouTubers. Everyone's leaning more towards Oregon.
Really?
They are. Give me Oregon. Let's
Mm.
do it. Let's go. Let's pull off another upset. I don't know. This just feels like a good upset year in my opinion. And Oregon is kind of one of those quiet teams. Yes, they weren't really great this season, but seeing them in that tournament, they're a quiet team. Could they make a run?
Tennessee, Texas. Now, this is an interesting matchup.
Rick Barnes versus his old school.
I would have picked, I'm not saying I'm picking Texas. I'm probably going to go Tennessee, obviously. But after my explanation on Texas earlier and the guys that I forgot about, and Tennessee's past games with Texas usually beats them, right? The last few times they played it.
Sadly, they do.
That was recently. But it's not the same Texas team. They don't have Marcus Carr anymore. That dude was a freaking beast. They do still have Tyrese Hunter, Smith. So I could actually see Texas getting this win. But I'm going to go Tennessee.
I agree with you.
The defense is there.
I think I saw... Oh, I'm sorry. You're still speaking. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I was just saying the defense is there and connect.
Mm-hmm. I think most teams don't really know how to guard connect. The only thing that makes me feel like Texas can't win this game is Jemai Mashak is an excellent defender. Even though sometimes he doesn't show it, he is really good.
The whole team is good defensively.
Adu down low is really good. Josiah Jordan-James can be good at some points. Tuscovy. I just don't think Texas can really push past this Tennessee defense, even though Tennessee really they looked horrendous up against Mississippi State from start to finish. I think that's a wake-up call for them, not because I'm a Tennessee fan. I'm going to move them on.
They'll get past this one.
Moving back
Purdue,
up.
Gonzaga?
Purdue and Zaga.
They played in Maui.
Purdue beat them.
Close game, actually. Well, it was close, and then Purdue pulled away at the end.
But this is a different Zaga team, in my opinion.
Well, Gonzaga was top 10 ranked at the time.
Yes, but they really shouldn't have been there, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, they're still good. But I'm going to go, I think Purdue can pull it off. Gonzaga not good enough defensively to pressure. It'll be a close game again, I would say. High scoring. But I'm going to go Purdue again to the Elite Eight.
I so badly want to choose Gonzaga right here, just because of Purdue's past in March.
Well, like I said, they only lose the double-digit seeds.
I agree. Knowing Purdue's past,
yeah,
when it comes to March, I want to choose Zaga. I want to. But this Purdue team, it feels different compared to the other ones, though. And I think they're going to prove a point in this year. And I think they're going to move past Zaga.
Yeah.
Sorry, Indiana fans.
Okay. Creighton, Tennessee.
I have Oregon, Tennessee.
You can go first, then.
Good run, Oregon. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, not because I'm a Tennessee fan. It's just...
No, that's an easy pick.
There's no way that they're going to go past that.
It's an easy pick. This is a tough one.
It's very tough.
I really want to see a Tennessee-Purdue Elite Eight matchup.
It would be... for us? That would be electric. That would be fun.
But Creighton, they're a good defensive team. Really good offensively. It's a tough one.
It is a tough one. It does the good Dalton Connect come out and shine in this game? Or do we see the Dalton Connect versus Mississippi State?
I think matchups could play a big part in this game because what's Tennessee's starting lineup?
Dalton Connect, Zakai Ziegler. I believe Josiah Jordan James is in there. I believe it's Vescovy and Adu.
Creighton, like Trey Alexander, has made a huge step this year. I think him and Shireman are both averaging close to 20. And then Kalkbrenner is a defensive machine. And Creighton's a good three-point shooting team as well.
Yeah, but once again, Tennessee has a really good defense. Especially beyond the arc, Tennessee's defense. That's where it shines.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. I don't blame you. It's a tough one. In my opinion, like I said, I would be choosing Tennessee.
For the sake of having a fun Elite Eight matchup for now, I'm going to go with Tennessee.
All right.
Fun matchup here.
Yeah, both of us have it.
I like the Boilers. It'll be a really... Now, okay, I like the game in Maui was kind of trashy.
It was horrible.
Because I swear that was a 3-hour game.
The refs were disgusting.
The refs called a foul every possession.
They were disgusting.
The amount of free throws shot in that game was absurd.
Yeah.
I think...
I'm sure it could have been a record.
Lawyer had like 30 points and about 20 were from the free throw line.
Yeah. So it's kind of hard to gauge off of that game.
The first half was fun. Second half took, I swear, 2 hours.
It was bad.
I'll go Purdue. Because put Lance on Connect again. He might score more than 3 this time. He probably would. But I think they got it. I think Tennessee is going to play too physical, foul a lot, put Purdue at the line.
Yeah.
We're going to hit the free throws.
Especially Adu. Adu is horrible at fouling.
Yeah. And maybe Connect gets in foul trouble again.
Here's my thing. I think Purdue will lock down Connect. I think they can. Will they actually? Let me rephrase that. I think they can. Will they? I want to choose Tennessee not because they're my favorite team, but I got this feeling that maybe this is where Purdue's run ends. But at the same time, I think Tennessee's defense is going to make it hard for Purdue. But I think Purdue's defense is going to make it hard for Tennessee. This is such an even game. It's hard to beat a team twice. Purdue has done it a lot this year.
They can't beat a team 3 times. They can beat them twice. Anyway, Final Four.
Tennessee. Not because I'm a Tennessee fan, because I am feeling it.
Go ahead. Sure.
I feel it. Zakai Ziegler, Dalton Connect, those two on the offense, they run it so well, like, in their good games. Let's put it that way. When they're not locked up, they're hard to stop. They're really good. I know Zakai is tiny, but he will charge that basket. Let's head to the Final Four, where I have a 3 seed, a 2 seed, a 1 seed, and a 2 seed.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
All right. UConn, Arizona, that's who I have. I think UConn's a favorite, heavy favorite. The new number 1 overall seed. I kind of like Arizona. They match up well with UConn. possibly even better in terms of athleticism. Well, yes, they match up perfectly. And I think Arizona gets it done.
I'm not going to do that one just quite yet. I'm going to do Houston versus Tennessee. I want Tennessee to make it, you know. That's my team. Houston's defense is too good for Dalton Connect and Zakai Ziegler. It is insane. I know that Iowa State made Houston's defense look like a fool, but they are really good. They just kind of had an off night. I don't think Connect can produce what he normally does up against this Houston team, so give me Houston.
Houston, Purdue. I think Purdue's good enough defensively to stop Houston from scoring. They're not the best defensive team, but they're solid. I like Purdue. And I like this rematch, Arizona-Purdue in the championship. And I'm going to go ahead and pick redemption story. It's bound to happen. It happened to Virginia. Happening again.
What have I been telling you since the beginning of this year?
What do you think? Arizona, probably?
I've told you since the beginning of this year, Arizona's going to win it. Give me Love and the Wildcats to go all the way and win it. They're going to do it in their home state.
Ooh. Championships in Phoenix?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. Give me the Boilers.
A lot of Arizona fans will be there. That's going to make it tough.
Back on Love. Lance versus Love. Edie versus Ballo. Heck of a game again. Last game was in overtime. High scoring game. What's your score? I'm going to go 80, 83, no, 89, 83 Boilers.
Wow. 62 to 58. 62. I like it.
I like the bracket. I like them.
Nice. So let's just go over this really quickly. Every year there's usually, it's projected about 8 upsets in the first round. Usually. So right now I have one out of the East. Only one out of the East in the first round. Out of the West, I have 1, 2, 3. And yes, 8 and 9s do count. So now that adds up to 4. 1 in the East, 3 in the West. We move over here to the South.
I have 7.
I have 1, 2 out of the South. That brings it up to 6. And then in the Midwest, I have 1, 2 more from 6 to get me to 8. Also, another fun fact. Every year within these columns, there's at least 1 7 seed or 1 10 seed. Yeah, 1 7 seed or 1 10 seed to upset a 2 seed. I have that. Of course, I can't do that right here. But I have that right here with Washington State over Iowa State. From your professional assholes, thank you for watching. Good night. I'd like to love you every day. I'd like to love you.